Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rakah, Chodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, and mercy of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai. Hey, and I'm hot in the spirit this morning. I'm off to a late start, Salakia. Had a few mishaps this morning, but Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashai, through his mercy, has allowed me to, bring forth this this very brief live stream, pretty much talking to this diabolical day, all right, that these diabolical people, all right, are going to find themselves celebrating as the school systems are closed and a lot of these businesses are going to be closed as well. But needless to say, they coined it as Columbus Day, right? Quote unquote Columbus Day, which this man, this degenerate, along with the rest of them, the rest of those English and European settlers that came over here to the New World and wreaked havoc on the Tainos and us Native Americans, man. They calling themselves glorifying this man. All right, setting him up on a pedestal. All right, making him seem like he's some type of benevolent man, individual, making him seem like he's some type of superhero, man. Which in reality, this man was one of the forerunners, all right, to bring forth the catastrophes, the atrocities, the rape, robbing, and murdering and colonizing of our people, man. You see? And if you think I'm lying, hey, we got AI diamond on this dude. All right, because we got some information from AI, man. AI review. Yup. Yeah, as the scriptures say, will the unicorn be willing to serve you, E? Will the unicorn be willing to serve you? The unicorn be on the internet? No, it won't be. Why? Because the earth has been filled. Let me get this real quick. Here's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, real quick. There's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 14. It reads, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea, man. Okay, and how is this going to be accomplished? By the counsel of the Lord, which is the men of the Lord, the prophets, bringing forth the report, bringing forth the truth. You see, those two faithful witnesses, the elect of the southern northern kingdom, man, starting with the men of the Lord, bringing forth this testimony, man, which puts you on blast, E. As a matter of fact, let me get another one real quick. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4. Bear with me, Akiyam and Akwaf. Oh, not this one. I believe it's 6. There it goes. It was 6. There's a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. I was in 4. Salakia. And 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse, let me start at 27. And it reads, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. Right, deception. All right, and we're in that stage right now where deceit's being quenched, man. where Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is no longer able to run circles around these people with his lies, right, with his rhetoric. He no longer controls the narrative from when it comes to the various talking points. All right, him trying to rewrite history and make himself seem as if he's the end all be all, the Alpha Omega. No, man. Through the knowledge, through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, through this truth, all right, Esau's being revealed, all right, and the world's coming to the conclusion that he's a complete loser, all right. At the veil, that covering cast is coming off of the face of the people, man. They see him for what he is. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption should be overcome, and right, that faith is going to be resting upon the elect, all right. Faith being a gift, as you can read in Ephesians, man. All right, that faith is going to rest upon the elect. All right, the elected of the nation of Israel are going to no longer lean upon them that smote them. You see? The just are going to live by faith, the just being the elect. Look it, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which has been so long, be declared, man. All right? And this is where we are, man. The truth is being declared. And the truth is like an unto kryptonite. All right? To Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. Because the truth puts him in a position where he's revealed. You see? The truth puts him in a position where he's... And if he's revealed, guess what? He's going to end up being chased out of the world. Look it. Let's get this real quick, right? Which is beautiful because we're in the time of his revelation now. Which is why nothing's working out in his favor. You see? And ultimately, he's being called out on all his atrocities, man. You know? The world looks at those small hats over there in Western Asia. You know, the world, Asian really calls it the Middle East. But it's Western Asia. The world's looking at them small hats over there like complete losers, man. Warmongers. Bloodthirsty barbarians, man. Okay? Spineless, remorseless beings, man. You know? They're not looked at as the chosen people. Nah, man, they're looked at as imposters, man. The world knows they're imposters, man. You see? Look how dusty look how dusty the motherland is, man. You know, because as Galatians tells us that Jerusalem's the mother of us all. Look how dusty the motherland is, man. Come on now. Full of bloodshed and violence and war. How are you the people? Anyways, let's stick to the point. Now, real quick. I went to I simply went to Google. All right? To show you how powerful the Spirit of the Lord is real time. I went on Google, man. All right, and simply typed up the truth about Christopher Columbus and searched it. AI overview reads this. The truth about Christopher Columbus is a complex and controversial one that contrasts the traditional heroic narrative with his brutal and violent actions towards indigenous peoples, man. This is the truth behind this bastard, man. Look it, while he initiated European contact with the Americas and the Columbian Exchange, he is now recognized for enslaving natives, committing brutal acts as governor, and contributing to the catastrophic depopulation of indigenous populations, disease, and enslavement, man. All right? What's so heavy? I had a dream last night. Right? And then all I remember from the dream is pretty much, I don't know, I was amongst a lot of people. Like, I was on this beachfront. And then, needless to say, it was Jake, right? It was Jake, you know, Gad. And, like, in the dream, like, I don't know, we were in front of this beachfront. And I seen Judah was there too, Southern Kingdom. And what I can remember from the dream, I remember having some seashells or what have you. And I forgot what we were trying to get. We were trying to get something. I forgot what it was, but I know we were blowing through the seashells and it was making a noise, right? And ultimately, the dream just flipped. And I'm seeing like pictures pop up. Like it's like I'm watching this projector screen. And I'm seeing, faces of God pop up. And in there's moments I'm seeing, they'll be putting on the feathers on them. Boom. And I'll see a next picture. Boom. They'll put them on him. Boom. Boom. And I woke up. I'm like, what the hell is that about? But needless to say, I came to the realization today is Columbus Day, supposedly. And I mean, it all made sense to me at that point. It was just the spirit, the spirit screaming at me, you know, the spirit screaming at me, man, letting me know to speak on this talking point, man, with this guy. Now, Grant, I had another lesson I was going to get into through the spirit, but we got to speak on this. We got to shed light on Evil E. We got to shed light on the atrocities that he's done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, especially when it's on a day where they're trying to glorify one of these demons, man. Nah, man. Hey, listen, these people are barbarians, man. Right? And their history testifies against them. This is why Trump is trying to rewrite, or reconstruct, rather, the Smithsonian, man, museum. But it's not going to work because the truth is already out. All right, let's continue on. Look. I'm continuing on, right? He was also not the first explorer to reach the Americas, nor did he land on the mainland of what is now the United States, right? This nigga landed on the various islands, all right, down in South America. This damn demon, Americo Vespucci, made his way there, Edomite. And the rest of them, English and Europeans, man, they made it up this way. But needless to say, this is the reality of their history. This is the truth. Let's get more into it. Look at the traditional versus the revived view. Look at traditional view. This is the traditional view, right? Columbus discovered America, right? And he was a brave explorer who opened up a new world, right? Look at reality. Here we go. Indigenous people had already populated the Americas for thousands of years, and Columbus's arrival led to devastating loss of life and land. All right, it was not right, and this is what they do. All right, this is what they've always done. When you go to the book of let me get something real quick. See, Esau is covetous, which another word for covetous is rapacious. All right, which means aggressively greedy. He's demonically greedy, bro. He'll delete you for what you got. You see? Which his history, hence his history, right, shows this. Look at Micah 2 and I gotta stop from verse 1, but verse 2 is the point. Micah 2 and 1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand," right? See, so Esau's in a position where what? Job 9 and 24, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. All right? And when Columbus was doing his dirty work, and the rest of these Europeans, Americo Vespucci and the rest of them, all right, they were in a position, the Lord had put them in a position where they had came up out of the pit. You see, them making their way over here and getting up over here to the new world was them fulfilling their blessing. All right, Genesis 27. Signs period. Granted them access to that blessing that they received by Isaac, that Esau received by Isaac, man. All right, hence he will receive the fatness of the earth. You see, that was fulfilled after them coming up out of the pit, after the Dark Ages, or the medieval times, as they like to call it, right? Upon the fall of the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Rome. Okay, you see that when Esau was allowed to come up out of the pit, man, and pursue his madness. Revelations 20, right? Go read that, but read that with understanding though, because it jumps around. Continuing on, and they covet fields and take them by violence, man. You see, we know who this is talking to. And they covet fields and they take them by violence, man. And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. All right, Esau stole our identity, man. You got $5 Indians in the form of these Edomites talking about they're from the tribe, they're from the Turtle Clan. And that was from yesterday. I know you brothers seen that incident that took place with that brother, with that individual. You know, from face value, he looked like an Edomite. And he pulled the strap out on him. He was talking about he's from the Turtle Clan. Through. But this is what I'm saying, though. You got these $5 Indians, you know, in the form of these Edomites talking about this tribe, they're from there, they're native and this and that. No, you ain't. Some of you may be, but no. Not most of you. Some of you may be. You know? And this is what they do, man. And not to mention this Southern Kingdom, man. Us as a nation, the Israelites, the chosen people of the Bible. All right? These Edomites have stolen our culture. They're claiming that they're us. All right, you got these clean leper, all right, diabolical, blood drinking, all right, child molesting freaks over there in the in the quote unquote Middle East, talking about their Judah and Levi, man. That's madness, man. When in reality they're Amalekites. Okay, they stem from the Caucasus Mountains and the mountains in Georgia and Mount Seir and what have you. You see, they're the chief house of Esau. Okay, they're another tribe of the Edomites. You can read about in Genesis, the 36th chapter. That's who they truly are. Okay, and this is what they've done. They've coveted fields and they took them by violence. They done it. They descended upon us first, the Northern Kingdom, man. All right, before the you know what I mean? That slave trade, the slave trade began with the Northern Kingdom, man. Because what were they doing? They were taking God off of this land and placing them on ships and bringing them to Europe. Matter of fact, it may even bring it up in this. Let me continue reading. All right, key facts about his voyages and actions. Columbus sailed west to find new sea route to Asia, not to discover a new continent. The landing. He landed in the Bahamas in 1492, not the mainland of North America. Mind you, he also had Hebrew translators with him too. All right, because they knew who they might stumble across based off the history in the Apocrypha. Let me just throw that out there. And this is what AI Overview won't tell you. All right, this nigga had Hebrew translators with him, man. Because they knew they might stumble upon Israel, like they knew about the Assyrian captivity. They know about all these things, man. All right, but AI Overview won't tell you. But we know this, though, through the Spirit. But let's continue on. The outcome for indigenous people. He and his men enslaved many of the indigenous people they encountered, man. His administration as governor of Hispaniola was marked by brutality, including the use of torture and the public sale of indigenous women into slavery, man. Let's continue on. Disease brought by the Europeans, combined with violence and enslavement, led to the catastrophic collapse of indigenous populations, such as the Taino people of Hispaniola. He initiated the transatlantic slave trade of indigenous people from the Americas to Europe. See? So when you go see prophecy, man, that's heavy, man. The prophecy of us traveling by ship, it rests on the northern and the southern kingdom, man. And for the northern and southern kingdom fulfill that. Deuteronomy 28 and 68, man. Showing you the power in YAHAWASHI, man. You see that? Showing you the power, man. And what other nation on this earth have the plight that our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have, man? This is the history right here, man, of how we were brutalized, man. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, man. Okay? on top of what they did to the Southern Kingdom, man. And as a matter of fact, let me get a clip for you brothers real quick. I came across last night. Yeah, Esau, you gotta pay. Bear with me, Akwa. I'm on my son's tablet, and let me see if I can get this real quick. Here it is. Listen to this. Not that just to show you the cohesiveness, man, and what our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans went through, man. Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Check this video out. Hold on.
Mississippi is still a very rough place. People is not just walking up like they used to do in the past, walking out, shooting a man down or getting maybe 200 or 300 people carrying you out and lynching you, but it's in a most several way. They can let you starve to death, not give you jobs. These are some of the things that's happening right now in Mississippi. See, Mississippi is not actually Mississippi's problem. Mississippi is America's problem. Because if America wanted to do something about it, what has been going on in Mississippi, it could have stopped by now. It wouldn't have been in the past few years between 40 and 50 churches bombed and burned. You see, and this leads me to say, all of the burning and bombing that was done to us and the houses, nobody never said too much about that, and nothing was done. But let something be burned, by a black man, and then, my God, you see, the flag is drenched with our blood. Because, you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men, respected as a man. As we know, this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they saying. And people ought to understand that. I see why they don't understand that. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us. This country is desperately sick, and man is on the critical list. I really don't know where we go from here.
Yeah, we know where we go from here. The physician, right, is coming to cut off a long disease, man. Right? And he today that is a king, tomorrow shall die, man. YAHAWASHI is coming, as we title. YAHAWASHI is coming. That's where we're going from here. YAHAWASHI is coming, man. And he's going to vindicate us, man. He's gonna settle the score, all right, with these heathens, starting with Esau, man. Let me get this real quick. All right, I just want to play that video showing you that what? Us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and we all suffered the same plight. Right? And it all goes back to the curse that showing you that we're those people. Look, the book of Daniel, chapter 9, and verse 12, and it reads, verse 11, and it reads, yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath, right, the promise, right, that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of power, because we have sinned against the man. I was talking to Deuteronomy 28. Look, and he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven has not been done, has been done upon Jerusalem, man. Which Jerusalem is a people before it took place, man. Okay? Let me get a little more. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord Yahweh our power, that we might turn from our iniquities, right? Repent, right? And understand thy truth. All right, but this has happened now in these latter days, man. Via the Holy Spirit, due to the sacrifice of YAHAWASHI, man. We've now received the knowledge of the truth, man. Through what YAHAWASHI did, man. YAHAWASHI was born, right? He was crucified, right? He had to die. He was raised up on the third day. He had to go back to the Father, and that was for the Holy Spirit to be sent in the latter, and now in the latter days. You see, we received the Spirit. Why? Because this is preparation for the deliverance, man. The elect is being prepared for the deliverance. YAHAWASHI is coming, man. He's gonna deal with all this, man. Everything that we went through, he's gonna deal with it, man. All right. These people are not gonna get away with what they've done, man. And you see, that was back at that video I showed you. That was back in 1968. Now, that was all post Wounded Knee Massacre. That was post what is it, Devil's Punch Bowl. That was all post Trail of Tears. You know, and now people were still crying out, but it wasn't time yet. That was 1 year before 1969, and we know what went down then, right? And the power of the Lord, man. He's dealing. The Lord's about to come handle, man. YAHAWASHI is coming. All right? Let me get you with this right here. And we're going to get the victory. All right? So just hang in there, man. Trust and believe, man. Let me get you with this right here. Circling right back around to the talking point. All right? Which we were talking to this diabolical day. All right? Which they put this bastard Columbus on a pedestal. But the truth behind him is that he was a barbarian, man, like the rest of them. All right? And this is just a part of these Edomites' history that testifies against them. This is one of their judgments they're gonna have to answer for, man. This is part of their this is courts in session, man. Right? All the evidence is all on the table. All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, and verse 19. It reads, Gad, right, which is the so-called Native Americans, right? Our so-called Native Americans. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, right? Which came in the form of them Europeans, man. Them English, man. Okay? But he shall overcome at the last, man. All right? And that's going to be a combination of all 12 tribes. But as you can see, real time, you got God on the highways and byways bringing it out. You know? And how the Lord okey-doked them. You got God that doesn't even look like the quote-unquote look the part or what have you. You know? Like, people wouldn't even know my dad's Cherokee Indian, man. You know? You know, some brothers and sisters can tell kind of when I break because they be thinking I'm Dominican or, you know, Taino. I get that a lot. But needless to say, it's because of the Gad. You see that? So the Lord okey-doked Esau. You see? And what Gad looks like, you got a lot of guys that look like straight up Judah. That's Gad. Okay? Because the thing is, the Lord's not going to do it with his people. Okay? It tells us in, let me go get this real quick. As much as Esau thought he eradicated Gad and put the rest of them on reservations, now, my nigga, you ain't do much damage at all. Because understand, we're like the stars, the scriptures, we're like the stars, man. We're like the sand of the sea. And the stars, man, we're innumerable. Our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Let me get this real quick. There's a book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 5, and it reads, For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. So even though we were going off in the land, worshiping idols, setting up altars to healing God, idols, All right, and ultimately we were evicted from the land, starting with the northern kingdom. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi never forsook us, man. You see, he may have turned his face from us for a time, right? But he never forsook us, man. He never did away with us. He was always there. He was always dealing, even in our darkest part of our captivities, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi was there. You see? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi was there, man. And now, he's once again showing favor to his people through the elect of his people, that remnant, right? And efforts for prophecy to be fulfilled, for salvation, okay? For deliverance to be fulfilled, man. Okay? Which goes hand in hand with the judgment that's going to come upon these heathens, starting with Esau. And 2/3 of you, Jake, that don't want to repent. You see, so we there, man. We there. Yahawashai is coming. And I'm going to leave you, beloved Aki Amenakwaf, with that. The Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi for allowing me to do this lesson. Like I said, I was running short on time. And I didn't think it was going to be possible. I ran into a few issues this morning. But it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. You know. But we here, though. Beloved Aki Amenakwaf. Hey, shalom to you, beloved Aki Amenakwaf, on the comment board. Hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Baraka Thumb to you and your household, man. We're about to win, man. We're about to win, like Elder Elder Yashawama said. We finna win, and that's the reality of what we're involved in, man. All right, we're finna win. We're going to get the victory. It's already written. We already won. All right, when you read Revelations 18, it tells us that Babylon has fallen. It already fell in the spirit. You see, we just have to play out prophecy, man. So stay locked in, stay prayed up, fast as well as pray. Beloved Aki Amenakwaf, Yahawashai is on his way. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rakak, Chodash. A double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, Lord willing, you beloved Aki Amenakwaf were edified, spiritually fed, and informed. All right? And informed. Understand and know and trust and believe. All right? All the blood that soaks this land in Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, it will be disclosed. It will be accounted for, man. It will be accounted for, man. These demons are not going to go unscathed, man. Nobody escapes, man.